Blues made a triumphant return to the Ricoh Arena last Friday. Now supporters have more reasons to cheer after the club's manager, Steven Pressley, signed a new 4-year deal with the club yesterday. The news broke. He's with us on the show. Gaffer, morning.
Morning, Shane.
And congratulations for your continued success for another 4 years. Then, can you tell us what was it a no-brainer? Did you go in there? I mean, you can say now the negotiations are done, obviously, but did you go in there thinking this is something I want to do? Another 4 years with Coventry City?
Absolutely. You know, I think that when I joined the club, we knew it was never going to be a quick fix project, and it was going to take time. And we've worked exceptionally hard, all the staff, in trying to change the culture of the football club. And you know, I think we're just at the start of that process. And I, as manager, want to see it through. You know, I'm very proud to be manager at Coventry, and I think Friday night just really hammered home just how big a football club this has the potential to become.
I was going to ask you actually whether the Ricoh must have figured in your own mind, mustn't it? You must have, if you'd have been still at Sixfields, would it have been a different thought process for you as to whether to sign or not, do you think?
Well, I think the Ricoh, there's no doubt about it that, you know, returning there has made, you know, my ambition's far more achievable. That's what I would say. You know, prior to that, it was always going to be very difficult to fulfil any ambition playing out of Sixfields. But, you know, playing out of the Ricoh, you know, hopefully we can continue to attract, you know, a large amount of supporters back. And I do believe that we can fulfil that desire that I do have to take this club forward. You know, I'm a manager. I went on record yesterday saying that I want to manage at the highest level. But my ambition would be for it to be with Coventry City.
There are two ways, as you say, there are two ways to do that as a manager, and it's quite interesting that some of the conversations that had happened at Burton Albion recently because of the successes they've had, and you see, as a manager, what you're faced with, Stephen, is you can either, as you say, drag the club with you and progress with that club, or inevitably you then get other clubs noticing you if you're successful. That must be a difficult line for you to tread, you know, because as you kind of get focused on what you want to do, other distractions are thrown into the pot, aren't they?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, you know, and you know, football management is a precarious position in the respect that 1 week, you know, you can be extremely popular with your supporters, and you know, a month down the line they're wanting you out, and that's the reality of modern day football. And the other aspect of that is exactly what you've said. You know, you have relative success at a football club, and then, you know, the bigger clubs are attracted to your situation. But, you know, the one thing that I will say is that what's really important to me is the people that I'm working with, you know, and I've been very fortunate to work with the likes of Steve Waggett that gives me great strength and stability in order to try and carry through what I want to carry through. And the staff that I also inherited at the club are terrific staff, and I thoroughly enjoy working with them. And with these people around me, and the current, you know, crop of players with you know, the new generation of young players coming through, it excites me greatly. And as I said, I'm really proud to manage this club. Friday
night, I mean, was a huge occasion, wasn't it? I mean, there's no question about it. And 27,000 fans there. Making incredible noise. It must have been draining not only for the players but for you as well. You had some long days ahead of that. The real challenge now is, and it's not a challenge for you. This is a challenge for the whole club. But the real challenge now is, how do you sustain those kind of gates? I mean, you do worry that it could be like a couple of thousand seeing Yeovil on Saturday. Is that an issue for you? I mean, is that something you can get involved in and you can help with? Do you think?
Well, I think that the one thing that, you know, prior to me coming to the club, you know, I'd obviously researched the club greatly, and, you know, I went on record as saying that for the last 15 years, this football club, there's no doubt about it, has been in decline. And also, when you look back at the records of the football club, the 87 success was incredible, but the club, for many years, spent, you know, time in the Premier League and just retaining its Premier League status, often fighting relegation, which was an incredible achievement for the club.
Yeah.
But the supporters were starved of any real success, challenging at the top end of the table, and that continued in the Championship. So I think the real challenge is for myself and the football club is to bring success to the city, because I believe that if we're in a situation where we're challenging at the top end of the table, the supporters will be excited and they will come back in their numbers because they've been starved of that. And that's the real driving force, and that's the real ambition of myself and the club at this moment in time.
Final point, quick one as well. I mean, the difficulty again for a manager, I mean, we all kind of get a glimpse of your world from time to time, is if you go for cup glory, as it were, or competition glory, and you neglect the league, that can, as we've seen this with other clubs, haven't we, Stephen, that can be fatal, can't it? So you've got to kind of still sustain the bread and butter as well, haven't you? Is that the real challenge for you? Is sustaining good football week in, week out?
That's the challenge, but I also think for football clubs like ourselves, the cup competition provides us with good opportunity to bring success. I had a little bit of a balancing act last week with the game being on the Friday and the game against Wickham on the Tuesday, and I did change the team, quite significantly. But we're taking cup competitions like that very seriously. And also, obviously the FA Cup, because these are things that excites the supporters, and nights like cup nights are things that the Coventry supporters have been starved of over the years. These are the types of occasions and the types of moments that I want to bring back to the football club.